Hello interwebs, interworlds, internets, YouTube. For the past year we kind of took the whole Steam Power podcast, Years of Resistance, and we put it to the side because we had to focus, I was focusing more on my business, Green Shoe Garage. So I kind of put the two podcasts offline. We're going to get back to them. They're not dead. But again, it's one of those things where two things for me. One was I wasn't, I was happy with it overall, but I don't want to repeat. There's billions of websites out there that kind of do the same thing, especially when it comes to just blurting out the news. And then vice versa, there's a billion of people out there that do great videos on hands-on on how to do a project, like how to make this. I'm going to show you today how to build whatever. How do you inspire people to get into science, technology, engineering, art, and math career fields? How do you show that it's fun, exciting, important work? That has always been my really driving force. And for a while there, I thought maybe just sharing the news about it was good enough. Then it's kind of like, well, maybe we do some DIY projects and show people how to do the projects. And I think there's a combination there. So I think the format going ahead is going to be this mixture of kind of like just talking about the news, talking and then interjecting my experiences, getting some people in to do again interviews, maybe co-hosting kind of stuff. Showing off projects that I'm working on, not necessarily in a step-by-step. I think that's all for now. So bear with us. We're figuring it out. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Test 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Alright, so we just finished printing this guy out. Let's see. Ooh. There we go. What we're going to do next is hit it with a coat of Valspar primer. So hit a coat with this stuff to help protective coating. It kind of fills in some bubbles, and I don't know, seems to help kind of like finish the 3D print. So we'll do that now. And then we wait. Alright, so we're going to do something we haven't done in a while. We're going to talk a little news. This past week there's been a lot of good news about Internet of Things, electronic stuff that I thought we would share. So the first news is the split in the Arduino world, the fissure, the divide that existed between the two parts of the Arduino family have come back together. So Arduino once again will just be Arduino, no more this Arduino.org, Arduino.cc, Genuino, all this crap that just made things way more confusing than really needed to be. So this week was at, a Maker Faire? The World Maker Faire in New York announced that the two companies, the two gentlemen that are kind of leading the two different versions, the two different companies that claimed right to the Arduino name have come back together. there's now going to be one company called Arduino Holding that will be, they say, single point of contact for wholesale distribution of all the current and future products, in other words, the hardware. And then there's going to be a nonprofit Arduino Foundation that's going to carry on maintaining, upgrading the Arduino IDE, the piece of software you put on your computer to actually program the various Arduino boards. So that's good news, because you know, for better and for worse, depending on your point of view, Arduino has really shifted the direction of the semiconductor, the electronics, the microcontroller world, and not just at the hobbyist level, but it's starting to permeate through the entire ecosystem into the professional development as well, proving that, you know, you can have both elegant, simplified tools to design and create things and still have horsepower and energy efficiency and all those things that historically requires you to really get down and know the nuts and bolts. It's not there yet. I'm not saying it's perfect. Obviously, I don't think you're going to see an Arduino powered smartphone coming out of, or smart, you know, like Apple Watch coming out of a big name company yet. But again, the ideas, the notions, the things that make the open source implications of Arduino, I think, are having big impact. That's my bottom line. Speaking of Arduino, they also announced a new, they're calling it an Internet of Things invention kit. And I'm going to probably butcher the name, ESLOV. And the idea, we talk about Arduino being like Legos and just plug the things together and all of a sudden, boom, you've got electronic projects. Well, this truly is, in my mind, the Lego version of Arduino. There's this, basically they have this one kind of like a motherboard that has the Wi-Fi, the hub that you can plug into your computer with USB. And then all the other little sensor modules connect to it either by just plugging it in or running little cables between them. And then there is this, it's kind of like they call it like the visual coding, the idea that, you know, every module, when you plug all your little modules into this motherboard, this host, this hub, and then you plug that into your computer, it's going to identify the little sensors you've added, and they're going to show up as like little blocks, and then you drag an arrow from one to the other, saying, you know, if I see a sensor reading of this value, make this actuator do something, and it's done in, it's not like you're sitting there programming in the IDE. You're actually you're kind of like, it's very visual. It's grabbing, it's drawing lines between things. There's been some IDEs out there that have tried to do this idea before. And maybe this is me being the old fart now. To me, it's more work to figure out to draw lines between things and make it do what I want than it is to actually code. But again, that's just could be me being an old fart and not understanding, you know, the value, because vice versa, when it comes to things like programming smartphones, like the Android, like when I write an Android app for something with Bluetooth, I use the MIT App Inventor, because it's ridiculously easy compared to using the actual Android IDE and all that stuff. So maybe it's just because where I came from, the electronics, the embedded stuff, it doesn't make sense to do that. But there's probably people out there looking at me that when I try to program an app with MIT App Inventor who do it professionally are also thinking that I'm just quote-unquote an amateur, which they're kind of right. But anyway, it's on Kickstarter now, the ESLOV. The kits that you can get, it's, you know, it's $55 up to almost $500. You know, it gets you various different kits, give you different little options. So anyway, check it out. We'll have links to all this stuff. But you know, it's the Internet of Things. Whether you like it, hate it, you know, it is kind of a buzzword. It's sexy right now. I mean, the concept's been around forever. But it's in vogue. And if nothing else, you know, if this becomes a way to help kids get into electronics even easier, even make it easier than it already is with Arduino, then I'm all for it. Because I think that is really an important thing we still haven't really cracked. Anyway, what else do we have? Let's see here. Ooh, the SP32. Where is it at? So, if you've heard of the ESP or SP, this is what I think is how it's pronounced, or at least that's how most people I know pronounce it, is the SP8266, which is a little Wi-Fi based microcontroller platform that kind of took over the maker community by storm. Basically, you could add, it was really easy to add Wi-Fi to almost any electronics project you had, and then do all the whiz-bang fancy stuff that is that you can do with Wi-Fi. Well, the successor to the 8266 is the SP32, and I've got my little dev board came in the mail finally here. Let's see if we can zoom that in. There we go. It's again, this is the dev board. The actual, the SP32 is like, I think, right in there. We're down here, probably up here because it's with the antenna. So it is impressive for the whole dev board was like $15. I think you can get the raw chips for as cheap as like $5-6. But it has for it's basic. I mean, it is aimed to be an Internet of Things platform. It wants to help usher in Internet of Things and make it drop dead easy. I'm not going to, obviously I don't even understand everything that's on board with this chip yet, but there's Wi-Fi, there's Bluetooth. Apparently the power management built in is very good. It's very robust. It can go anywhere from it can work in temperatures from -40 Celsius up to 125 Celsius. Let's see here. It says 240 megahertz dual core Tensilica LX6 microcontroller with 600 DMIPS. You can look all that up. Basically, it means it can do a lot of instructions per second, and when you're trying to do more complex code, when as things go before, just it used to be with Arduino, like I'd read a pin, turn on the fan. Well, as you add on all the fancier stuff that has the Wi-Fi overhead, you writing the Wi-Fi stack, Bluetooth, you need faster processors so that the tool still, or the project is fast and speedy, but is doing all the whiz-bang stuff too. Integrated 520 kilobytes of SRAM, integrated 802.11 BGN, Bluetooth Low Energy and Classic, 16 megabytes of flash, 2.2 to 3.6 volts operating voltage. So word of warning, if you've got a lot of stuff historically with Arduino, it's 5 volts. Even though their newer boards are 3 volts, but just be careful plugging anything into your board directly. Again, the antenna's all on board, and there's I think it's like 36 GPIO pins, and then there's 3 UARTs, 2 SPI buses, 2 I2C, 2 digital analog converters, 12 analog to digital converters, and then I2S, which I think is the sounds. You can put out sounds. It's a crap ton, and then, like I said, I can sit here all day and read everything. It's still kind of beta. You're not going to be able to go to, like, say, if you wanted to just program it into the Arduino IDE, that you can't do the board manager yet, like you can do with the 8266. And then, really, if you take full advantage of it, you probably don't even want to use the IDE. You would probably want to use this as an opportunity to kind of take your electronics education a step further and learn to take advantage of all the hardware that's on here. You'll learn, you can start learning like real-time operating system. All that's on their GitHub page. Again, it's there. I'm gonna sit here and waste your time try to explain it all. Just know SP32 it's out for kind of like a beta, and then should probably be able to something that you'll be able to find as plentiful as the Arduino Uno or the SP8266, probably some here in the next couple weeks. There was one other story. What else did I want to hit on? Internet of Things botnet took down Krebs, which is a security. If you know, it's a security. Krebs on Security is it's a gentleman, Brian Krebs, who writes about all things internet and security. Of course, that makes you a target with folks. So basically, some hackers basically commandeered 145,000 devices such as security cameras and DVRs, many of which were equipped with the default passwords, or like the ones like 1234 password admin, and basically DDoS this guy. All these devices through at its peak 620 gigabits per second of just trash at this guy's website and knocked him offline. Alright, here we go. Alright, so the other project this weekend was finishing up this shop cart. So all these tools here used to be sitting up and taking a lot of the workspace here. So I lost probably about half the workspace. Now I've got that all back, and the nice thing is all my tools are on this movable cart, and now I can just kind of push it around wherever I need it in the shop. So this guy here, I can wrap my the camera tripod around that, and then have it off the work surface and out of the way when I'm recording videos. At least that's the plan. We'll see how useful it is. Well, the third project this weekend was adding this stuff to the crosscut sled. So we rounded out a 3/4 inch for this piece of T-track, and then we got some 1/4 inch bolts, and basically you can loosen this guy up here. Let's see here. Move this guy up and down the track. Place your piece of wood. I marked out the inches, 1, 2, 3, whatever. So let's say 3. We want to make a cut. Repeat it 3 inches. You just take this, you lock it down. You move the wood up, cut, make a pass, pull it back, move the wood, and keep going. All right, thanks for watching. Appreciate your patience as we work on the format. Hopefully you got a little taste of where we're going to try to head between the projects, maybe some reviews, and then the news, and some combination of meshing that up every week or every 2 weeks is the goal. And with that, I invite you over to gearsofresistance.com. Everything we do, gears, steam power podcast, and the blogs, it's going to be a one-stop shop now at gearsofresistance.com. So head over there. And there's also links to everywhere we post our content. So with that, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you around here real soon. So until next time, keep it steamy, stay quirky.